Today, we're going to talk about the archetype, the hero archetype of the strongman. The strongman, as we had said before, is basing their sense of herohood on strength of some form. It doesn't necessarily mean physical strength, although it can. There are lots of different subtypes. One of which is, I call them the weightlifter. And this is the archetype that does put their personal sense of self-esteem or self-image on being physically strong. The weightlifter. Woo. Makes sense, right? Problem with the weightlifter is as you age, inevitably you also lose muscle control and muscle power. Some people, like Jack LaLange, have been able to maintain a very strong physique throughout a lot of decades. But the vast majority of us do lose our muscle power as we get older. So that's kind of a shaky place to build your self-esteem, to build your sense of being a hero. One of the other archetypes within the strongman, one of the sub-archetypes within the larger archetype of the strongman, is the turtle. And like the fable, I call them the turtle because they build their sense of self and their trait of herohood is more based on perseverance and endurance. Like the turtle in the fable, they just keep on going. Keep on trucking, for those of you old enough to remember that phrase. One of the other subtypes is the willful hero. This is a hero who bases their sense of strength on being able to push through willpower, to push through any obstacle. This is a more mature form of the brat, but it still has some problems because there are certain circumstances you just simply can't will your way through. The brat is the very immature form of this. The brat just believes that they should get everything they want because they want it. They base their herohood on strength of want, even more than strength of will. They also have a tendency, brats have a tendency to demand what they want without thinking about the rights of others. Whereas the willful hero very well may, in the mature forms, take that into account, take other people's rights and other people's wants and desires into account. So some of these are good and some of these are not. Some of these are healthy and some of them are not. The bully is another subtype of the strongman. Again, they're basing their sense of herohood, they're basing their sense of power, of self and of power, in being able to ride roughshod over others, in being able to intimidate others. Not real healthy, but it is a subtype of the strongman. The last subtype we're going to talk about, and there are more. You can find all sorts of things, and everybody, because they are slightly different, will have a slightly different sense of what makes them feel good about themselves, which is your sense of herohood. The last one I'm going to talk about today, though, is the rebel. The rebel is actually a secondary hero type. It is not a primary hero type. And when I say that, what I mean is a person who moves into becoming a rebel, the rebel, which is part of the strongman. Their focus is now, they build their self and they build their sense of power and control over being able to say no to authority. The more often they can say no to authority, The more powerful, the stronger they feel in their own herohood. This can be very destructive for not just them, but also for the other people around them. It really does not do very well for building healthy relationships, as well as building healthy self. But as I say, this is a secondary herohood. You will only find the rebel occurring when they have felt so threatened over an extended period of time, where they have felt so threatened about somebody else taking over their sense of herohood, somebody else who has been riding roughshod over their own autonomy, their sense of autonomy, that they must push back in order to attain any sense of autonomy, any sense of power and control in their lives. So the rebel is not a primary. Nobody is born being a rebel. Some of us are born being more irritable than others, but that's not rebellion. And that's not being a rebel. Irritability is nothing to do with rebellion. You can have any other hero type as your primary, but if you've been put in a position where you must fight for your autonomy over an extended period of time, particularly with one or more authority figures, but it often starts with one particular one, the rebel will take over. It is hard to realize sometimes that that is not a good place to base your herohood, and that it is actually not who you are. That's not who you are as a hero within yourself. You have to redefine, you have to rediscover what your actual primary sense of herohood is based on. That gives you an idea of some of the subtypes. And like I said, there are a whole bunch of them. But that gives you an idea of some of the subtypes in the strongman. Some healthy ones, some not so healthy. Next time, we'll be talking about the archetype of the saint. See you then.